Welcome to our captivating exploration of biblical icons and the intriguing revelations they hold. Have you ever seen or heard of biblical icons where Jesus or the Virgin Mary have dark skin, or even Abraham or King David? Then look beyond Europe. Russia has opened its vaults to reveal biblical icons featuring darker-skinned figures. In case this is making you wonder if Russia has its own twist on biblical figures, the answer is no. This is not the case at all. This is a matter of fact, as real as the untouched horizon of time. These icons aren't just artistic anomalies. They hold deep meanings of hidden shaded truths, sparking serious, curious questions about history and faith representation and the unexpected corners of religious art. Pay close attention, amazing people. You are just about to hear it today like it is in this video. Before we continue, kindly endeavor to hit that like button as a way of supporting our work. Share with your families and friends to keep spreading our eye-opening Black narrative. And subscribe to stay put for more while you help in building the rising membership of this channel. We appreciate your support. Let's begin by focusing on Jesus, arguably the most popular name in the world today. Mark chapter 4, verse 22 states, "For there is nothing hidden which shall not be manifested, neither anything kept secret that would not be brought to light." For generations, the prevalent image of Jesus Christ, particularly in Western societies, has been that of a fair-skinned man with a beard, long flowing hair ranging from light brown to blonde, often depicted with blue eyes. However, the Bible does not provide a physical description of Jesus, and contemporary evidence suggests that his appearance may have differed significantly from traditional portrayals. The biblical texts offer scant details regarding Jesus' physical features. Our understanding primarily derives from the four Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. These accounts depict Jesus as a Jewish individual born in Bethlehem and raised in Nazareth, a town in Galilee, which was formerly known as Palestine and is now part of northern Israel. According to Luke chapter 3, verse 23, Jesus commenced his ministry around the age of 30. Yet, the Bible offers minimal insight into his appearance, except to suggest that he did not possess any remarkable physical attributes. It is likely that the historical Jesus shared the common traits of other Jews from Galilee during the first century, such as brown eyes and skin. Nevertheless, the precise likeness of Jesus remains elusive, as there are no extant images of him from his lifetime. Unlike the Old Testament figures Saul and David, who are described as tall and handsome, the scriptures provide little indication of Jesus' physical characteristics in both the Old and New Testaments. Furthermore, when Jesus was arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane before the crucifixion, Judas Iscariot had to point Jesus out to his soldiers among the disciples, presumably because they all appeared similar to one another. But the words of the Bible itself did not hint at the reasons behind their similarities, whether they were white or black, or why or how they looked too similar. It did not tell. Considering these events, one is made to actually wonder, were these words deliberately expunged from the Bible to hide certain glaring truths? Or did the writers of the good book of the Gospels fail to discuss these things? Nevertheless, the portrayal of Jesus as a white European man has come under renewed scrutiny during this period of introspection over the legacy of racism in society and over the actuality of truth. One of the major factors of this renewed scrutiny happens to come with the buzzing news concerning certain storming revelations from Russia. For some time now, the recentness of this event has got everyone talking in wonderment. Russian President Vladimir Putin has decided to move one of Russia's holiest icons from a museum to a Moscow Cathedral. This raises a debate around Putin's growing reliance on the church, emphasizing the importance of the holy icon. Putin ordered Andrei Rublev's Trinity, to be transferred to the Russian Orthodox Church from Moscow's Tretyakov Gallery for a year. The relocation of Russia's most well-known icon highlights how closely the war has intertwined politics and religion. The icon depicts the Oak of Mamre, where the three angels visited Abraham in the book of Genesis. Did you notice anything about these icons on display? They are all black icons dating back to the 14th century, brought together from private collections across Russia. Rare and strongly challenging masterpieces, most of which were destroyed during the Soviet era. It's very beautiful. It gives you goosebumps. It's a remarkable exhibition. It's an exhibition which feeds the senses. Everything is so gray outside at the moment, and here suddenly it's a feast for the eyes. These icons that you see are the survivors of what is left. Had the museums not saved them, they wouldn't be existing today. There used to be millions of these icons, but now only 50,000 of them are within sight. The revelation of these icons stands as a compelling affirmation of the enduring power of truth. The genuineness of these artworks urges us to reassess our comprehension of history, especially concerning the existence and portrayal of black figures. Over the ages, these figures might have remained concealed, but their resurgence illuminates untold narratives, serving as a catalyst to challenge entrenched beliefs and encouraging us to revise history with a broader perspective. Many Russian icons were destroyed or sold abroad by agents of the Soviet government. Some were hidden to avoid destruction or were smuggled out of the country. Since the fall of communism, numbers of icon painting studios have again opened and are painting in a variety of styles for the local and international market. Many older hidden icons have also been retrieved from hiding or brought back from overseas. The Castel Sant'Angelo in Rome is currently hosting an exhibition of 40 Russian icons that have left their country for the first time. They are pieces of art that were hidden after the October Revolution of 1917 in order to protect them from anti-religious destruction. It's the first time that a large number of Russian icons have come here to Italy. In addition, here are a dozen examples that have never before been moved. They appear for the first time in our catalog. Icons are usually painted on wood and meant to represent saints or sacred elements. The Orthodox tradition considers them as if they were the gospel inspirations of God through the hand of the artist. Their deep symbolism is reflected from the meaning of icon as a representation or vision from another world. The wood evokes the Holy Cross through its gold background, divine light, and the cloth attached to the wood evokes the cloth that covered the body of Jesus Christ. Without a doubt, they have great importance and fundamental recognition in Russia because the icons represent for Russia what the pyramids represent for Egypt or the temples to the Greeks. The exhibition shows icons ranging from the 15th century until the early 20th century. It's a rare opportunity to see the religious soul of Russia through its icons. There's been so much debate going on around the world of late, bested by the unveiling of these black biblical icons. Some tend to think that the icons had blackened over time due to age, while others say that the blackness of the icon has nothing to do with age, but are a measure of accuracy meant to depict the actual color of the skins of the people painted because they were black people, says Robert Rubin. Why didn't their clothes change to black in those paintings or all of the paintings? The true Israelites were black-skinned people, not white. Likewise, the ancient Egyptians. The Ret structure in Morania is also the location of Atlantis. Russians did not change their paintings, just as other countries did. They simply kept the true paintings and iconography. Look up ancient maps, and you will see that the Kingdom of Judah was later located in West Africa. The Jewish nation was destroyed by Titus. Millions of Jews fled into Africa. They ended up in the west of Africa. From there, they were sold as slaves to almost every part of the world. Do you think the hatred for black people is just normal or a coincidence? No. It was because the Israelis did not keep the commandments of God. Moses informed them of the blessings and curses, as we can see in the Bible book of Deuteronomy. God told them they would lose that land to people whom they did not know if they disobeyed him. The hatred for the black children of Ham and Shem is because the children of Shem have mixed up with the children of Ham. They are both black-skinned. The prime target of this hate is actually the children of Shem. Shem is being punished for his disobedience to his God. Another insightful one from Johnson here says, because black people were the people in the Bible, that the Americans turned white when they told the stories to us. But Russians didn't get the memo. They went off for real history. Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5, Revelations, chapter 1, verse 15. Go check it out. It's in the text. It's not because of a candle or anything else these people are talking about. In that case, the whole picture would be black, not just the face and the hands. They are meant to be black because they were black people. This great USA is also a great deceiver, and so many people inherit the wrong lesson from their great-grandparents and their parents, to the point where it's so deep that the lie is made true when the real answer is really just right there, but you never look because why would you? The Russian unveilings didn't stop there. Russia continues with its biblical historical revelations, with President Putin at the foremost front championing the cause. Russia has opened its cellars to reveal remarkable paintings of Jesus dating back to the 1400s by Father Vladimir Ivanov. This is a book that is highly coveted by different circles because it has the black icons. It has the history of black people in places like Russia, in Italy, in places all over Europe. This book can range from $300 to $3,000. So, it's not an easy book to get. I actually borrowed this book from a friend, you know. But this book has a lot of interesting depictions in it, a lot of them pertaining to the Bible. The images that we see are contrary to what we have known our whole lives or what we have been taught our whole lives. Like these types of images of antiquity escape black people here in America. And I can say all people, for in general, just people in general don't know. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of Caucasian people and people of all nationalities that don't know the extent that black people covered the earth, and in many cases, like here, like what you see, were in rulership positions. The images of Jesus and other historical figures in Russia's black icons challenge the commonly known perception of antiquity and reveal the extent of black people's presence and influence throughout history. Paintings from the 1500s and 1600s depicting black icons, including Jesus and Mary, in a highly sought-after book that explores the history of black people in Russia, Italy, and other parts of Europe. The book contains interesting depictions of black people in biblical scenes, which is knowledge that is not taught in the American educational system. However, debates concerning the authenticity of these icons go on, and Alex Pesce, a software developer and Catholic Christian, has some things to contribute. The Russian Christians adopted Byzantine Orthodoxy wholesale. That, of course, includes the iconography. The fundamental principle of Orthodox iconography is no changes. The icons are, as much as possible, portraits of Christ, Our Lady, and other saints. Further, the styling, mood, garments, gestures are all fixed in the Byzantine style, so much so that students of iconography refer to these rules as iconographical canon, even though very little of that canon ever went through the normal ecclesial legislative process involving episcopacy and councils. Going forward, while Russia continues to amaze the world in this light, the unquenchable fire of truth persists through the darkness of history. Not so long ago, protesters had called for the removal of Confederate statues in the U.S. Activist Shaun King went further, suggesting that murals and artwork depicting white Jesus should come down. His concerns about the depiction of Christ and how it is used to uphold notions of white supremacy are not isolated. Prominent scholars and the Archbishop of Canterbury have called to reconsider Jesus' portrayal as a white man. Only recently, on June 22, 2020, writer and activist Shaun King announced that he supports the destruction of statues that depict a white Jesus. King, who had tweeted his remarks on that memorable Monday of 2022, noted that historians believe Jesus likely had the appearance of people who typically lived in the Middle East during his time, rather than the white man who is often depicted in Christian iconography. Yes, I think the statues of the white European they claim is Jesus should also come down. They are a form of white supremacy. Always have been. In the Bible, when the family of Jesus wanted to hide and blend in, guess where they went? Egypt, not Denmark, he added. Tear them down. The remarks swiftly received criticism from certain individuals on the platform, including notable conservative figures. King clarified that he was solely advocating for the removal of statues depicting a white Jesus. Responding to a tweet from Prageru, a nonprofit organization co-founded by conservative talk show host Dennis Prager, he further stated that stained glass windows and any other depictions portraying a white Jesus, along with his white mother and their white associates, should also be eliminated. He emphasized that such representations constitute racist propaganda and a blatant manifestation of white supremacy. King shared an image of a darker-skinned Jesus that appeared in a 2002 Popular Mechanics article, which scholars believe may be more accurate than those showing Jesus as a European. He commented that the image would have been intolerable for white Americans who participated in slavery. White Americans who bought, sold, traded, raped, and worked Africans to death for hundreds of years in this country simply could not have this man at the center of their faith, Shaun King further tweets. On June 23, 2020, a day after he had tweeted his support for the destruction of all white statues of Jesus. A tweet by Jenna Ellis, a lawyer representing President Donald Trump, warned that she would not break if they try to cancel Christianity. Although it's unclear if it was in direct response to King's tweet, regardless, King responded that what the lawyer was actually defending here is her whiteness. Christian whiteness needs white Jesus, King tweeted to Ellis. It's not about generosity or kindness. It's not about protecting the vulnerable. It's about whiteness itself. Attack white Jesus to her, and you attack her faith. Statues have been torn down and destroyed amid ongoing protests against racial injustice and police brutality that have swept the nation since 2020. Although statues and monuments paying tribute to the Confederacy have been primarily targeted, statues of other figures from early American history have also been taken down. The movement to take down and deface controversial statues has gained traction in the UK as well as Europe and the US, but has divided public opinion, with critics slamming it as mob rule, while others applaud it as a way of addressing systemic racism. Justin Welby, the Archbishop of Canterbury and head of the Church of England, has said the Church should reconsider its portrayal of Jesus as a white man. Speaking to the BBC Today program, Welby was asked whether the way the Western Church portrays Jesus needed to be thought about again and reimagined. Yes, of course it does, he said, adding that Jesus was portrayed differently in countries around the world. He was regularly in touch with Anglican church leaders from around the world, he said, who did not portray Jesus as white. You go into their churches and you don't see a white Jesus. You see a black Jesus or Chinese Jesus or a Middle Eastern Jesus, which is, of course, the most accurate, Welby added, saying that the representations of Jesus were not, however, who we worship, but rather served as a reminder of the universality of God who became fully human. Addressing calls for monuments with links to the UK's imperialist history and slave trade to be removed, he said statues in Canterbury Cathedral would be put under review. The question about whether they should all be there arises. Of course it does, and we've seen that all over the world, he continued. We're going to be looking very carefully and putting them in context and seeing if they all should be there, says Justin Welby. As we wrap up this enlightening journey, the revelation of these black icons serves as a potent reminder that history is often veiled in obscurity, yet truth inevitably prevails. These relics compel us to reassess our comprehension of the past and challenge entrenched narratives. If proven authentic, these paintings provide a window into previously undiscovered historical dimensions, compelling us to grapple with the intricacies of representation. This discovery underscores the enduring influence of truth, dismantling walls of misinformation and prompting a reevaluation of our historical narratives. That concludes another segment of our video. We eagerly await your thoughts in the comments section below. Your support through likes and shares is invaluable in spreading our enlightening narrative. Don't forget to subscribe for more captivating content. We appreciate your presence. Thank you for joining us.